Mikey McCoy's wife just released a set of messages that, if true, could completely shift the narrative around the Charlie Kirk situation. And the moment those screenshots started circulating online, the internet lit up with speculation. People began claiming that Erika Kirk is scrambling to get ahead of whatever might come next, trying to manage the fallout before more information surfaces.
We're actually tracking for years was Erika. Not Charlie, but Erika was the one being tracked by these planes between 2022 and September of 2025. Both of those aircrafts, SUBTT, the yellow plane, and SUBND, the blue plane, showed 68 overlaps with Erika's documented locations, okay? 68 overlaps. I have since been able to add now 73 times that this overlapped, okay?
What really pulled everyone in wasn't just the posts, it was the footage. Something about Mikey's behavior in those clips struck people as unusual, and the online chatter exploded from there. His wife's recent messages only added fuel to the fire, with many claiming she's tired of keeping things quiet and might be ready to reveal more. But Erika, according to online speculation, she absolutely doesn't want that happening. And the things she's allegedly doing to keep those leaks under control are exactly why people are talking nonstop. If you clicked this video looking for answers, let me break down every piece of this puzzle. You're going to hear about the strange video clips, the timing that's raising eyebrows, an odd family trip right before Charlie was shot, and even the internet rumors tying Erika to Egypt, flights, and Israel. By the end of this, you'll see why some corners of the internet believe something deeper might be going on, though none of this has been confirmed. Let's start with Mikey. He was Charlie Kirk's 23-year-old chief of staff, standing right beside him when everything unfolded. I won't re-explain what happened to Charlie. Most people already know. What matters here is Mikey's reaction. A specific video blew up online. Instead of ducking, helping, or reacting like the people around him, viewers noticed him quietly pulling out his phone and lifting it to his ear. No dialing, no tapping, just an immediate lift, which sparked theories that he was expecting a call or already on one. Again, these are online reactions, not established facts. But the way the footage looked was enough to make the internet stop, rewind, and start asking questions.
But in this particular video, he's not standing where you can get a view of Charlie asking a question. So this part is not tracking, okay? Mikey is not standing to the side of Charlie, he is behind. And so if you're saying what earlier, we're supposed to see him, the best place to stand if you're going to get a video of Charlie asking a question is going to be in a place where you can see both Charlie and the person asking the question. And that's just not where he's standing. So that excuse doesn't make sense to me. Now, maybe he's saying Mikey was there when he was throwing hats out and he was there trying to send videos thereafter once things got started. That's all possible. I don't know. Regarding him putting his hands up to his ear, it does sound completely plausible to me that if you first hear a gunshot, you're going to naturally do this, right? That kind of makes sense. You're going to go, what was that maybe? And then I think typically you'd get down. And the issue that I have is I never see him take that phone down. Maybe he does, right? Maybe he does. We don't know for a fact. And so we should be clear that it doesn't look to me like he's just covering his ears there, but maybe he is. What I will say is that it would be unlikely that you would keep holding your ears until you get all the way out and that you wouldn't duck down.
Then Erika unintentionally added even more fuel to the growing speculation. On national television, she explained that when Charlie was shot, her phone was on silent. She didn't hear anything. But when she finally checked it, she saw a call coming from Mikey. According to her, he phoned her just seconds after the shooting took place. That tiny detail instantly set the internet on fire, with people replaying the timeline and asking why that call happened so fast.
And that's when Mikey started calling me. Called me within seconds.
I called Erika. I just remember it rang like 3 or 4 times. I didn't know what to say. Those are the words that will change someone's life forever, and you have to be the one to say it. That was the first time I've ever called her during a campus tour stop.
And so Mikey called me, and I'll never forget. Him just being like, Charlie's been shot. He's been shot. Get the kids. Get security. Get the kids. Get the kids. He's been shot. I sprinted out of her treatment center. Just collapsed in the middle of the parking lot. Called our security. Yeah. Unbelievable nightmare.
So according to Erika, Mikey called her within seconds. If you might remember, that Mikey McCoy has been under a lot of fire for how he reacted less than 1 second after Charlie was shot. He put his phone or his hands to his ears, looks like his phone, and began walking away. People were highly suspicious of this, and we were told by Turning Point USA, executive producer of the Charlie Kirk Show, Andrew Colvette, that Mikey did not make a phone call here. He in fact put his hands up over his ears because the shot was very loud. Remember this.
Last thing, because this is part of the video allegations here, is that they think they're alleging that he was on the phone immediately. He was not. He was taking social videos, which he would send to our group chat, which we would then put on Charlie's social while the event was happening, so you could see like the crowd come in or his interactions. And we were only 2 questions into this event, so he was still getting it out to all the chats he needed to do, which he did at every event. He turns around and it was so blaringly loud, I'm told. You would know this better than I, but this is what I'm told. It was so blaringly loud and he was so shell-shocked. He put his fingers in his ear, but his phone was still in his hand. He walks away.
Blake Neff, who's also on this Charlie Kirk show from Turning Point USA, who was right next to Mikey McCoy when the shot rang out, also explained that Mikey McCoy and him separated. It was not until they reconvened after the fact, when he encountered Mikey with his lip quivering, that the phone call was then made to Erika and then to his father, Rob McCoy. Candace Owens came out straight up yesterday and said that this was an inside job. People are suspicious because of inconsistencies and lies like...
So now the internet is asking the obvious question: which version of the story is accurate? Because both timelines can't be right at the same time. And the simplest way to clear everything up would be for Mikey to share his call logs. It would take 5 minutes, a screenshot, a timestamp, and the confusion disappears. But so far, he hasn't released anything. No timestamps, no records, nothing. And that silence is exactly what's making the situation feel even more confusing to people watching from the outside.
I don't like the silence from Turning Point employees. I know for a fact one of them, who I'm not going to name, has a text message from Charlie the day before he died saying they are going to kill me.
Wow.
Now, he was not referring to lobby when he wrote that message.
Yeah.
If you are his friend and you're interested in the truth, why wouldn't you tell the public that? Wouldn't you just come right out to the public and say, hey, I don't know what happened, but like Charlie thought they were going to kill him. I do not like the way Turning Point is behaving. I've made that clear. And nobody is going to emotionally manipulate me and tell me that it's all good now. And to attack Turning Point would be to attack his legacy. Mm-hmm. Charlie told me years ago that he had, which I shared the messages, he was having a ton of visions and was telling me that Turning Point was going to be the death of him. He knew he was going to die young, and strangely knew that I was going to be the only person to defend him, right? I showed the messages.
Yeah.
I showed the messages.
They tried to say it was fake and you pulled it up and yeah.
We're here now, and I'm going to defend him. I'm going to figure out what happened.
But then something else pushed people to look even closer. Candace Owens pointed out that just weeks before Charlie's death, the McCoys joined Charlie and Erika on what Mikey's wife described as their first ever family vacation together. She even posted about it online. During that trip, the McCoys filmed several intimate moments of the Kirk family, private clips that later went viral after Charlie passed away. One of them showed Erika taking Charlie's hand while walking with their kids, and that's where the questions began. Why were they filming the Kirk family so much? Most family trips don't work that way. Usually, someone from within the family is behind the camera, not another couple quietly recording everything from the sidelines like documentary producers. And it didn't stop there. Just 4 days before Charlie died, Mikey recorded him again, this time during a trip to Korea. He mentioned it was the first time he had ever filmed Charlie like that. The timing struck many online viewers as unusual, and it sparked even more speculation about what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, so originally we were supposed to go to the DMZ portion where Trump shook Kim Jong-un's hand, and I'm going to put him on blast, but the United Nations canceled Charlie, didn't allow us to go.
Wow.
So we were scheduled to go. So we had to go to that lookout point, which was really exciting still. So glad we got that.
Yeah, you got to see it.
Something else that's really interesting is when we were at that Build Up Korea event, Charlie was meeting with all these pastors backstage. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And there's Pastor Son, S-O-N. And Charlie was talking to him. He was talking about politics from the pulpit, which you can't do during an election season in Korea, but he was doing it anyways. And Charlie's like, let me take a picture with you. So he took the picture. And we left Korea. 2 days after we left Korea, the pastor was arrested and is in jail right now. For
No way.
Yeah,
I saw that.
because
Yes,
you
I saw
can't.
this.
We have the picture up there. That was 2 days after they arrested that pastor. He's in jail right now for talking about politics from the pulpit.
But while Eliza McCoy seemed to pull back from the public eye, Turning Point USA did the complete opposite. They pushed forward at full speed. Suddenly, everywhere you looked, podcasts, interviews, stage appearances, the spotlight kept circling back to Mikey McCoy. His name, his story, his presence, it became the center of the conversation almost overnight, and that shift only fueled even more discussion online.
Was promised or told or encouraged that he would become the new Charlie, and it is a fact that was the number one sentiment that we received from our Turning Point USA insiders following Charlie's assassination, that the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious Mikey McCoy appeared to have like an extra spring in his step that made them all a little bit uncomfortable in the aftermath, and that he seemed all too happy to assume Charlie's position. Look, he's already speaking at Liberty University. Why? Because he made some phone calls? Have we lowered the standards for what makes somebody a hero?
Every post, every clip, every press release seemed to position Mikey as a rising young hero. To many viewers, it didn't feel like a normal period of grief. It felt more like an aggressive PR push, as if they were trying to smother growing speculation with a mountain of praise before the conversation spiraled further. And then Turning Point shared something that sparked even more discussion. In one video, someone can be seen comforting Mikey, encouraging him to ignore the online theories, and reassuring him that the team had already taken care of everything, that he didn't need to worry. To a lot of people watching, that moment didn't calm any concerns. It raised new ones.
Erika Kirk, where has she been? She's been out of the spotlight almost completely. No interviews, no real public presence, nothing. And at this point, people are wondering why. Is it the attention? Is it pressure? Or is something else going on behind the scenes? Now, let's talk about this moment right here between Mikey McCoy and someone named Bernadette. Because when I heard that clip, my thought was the same as a lot of you. Who exactly is Bernadette? And why does she sound like she's speaking for the team?
I don't want you to feel hurt by all these horrible things. We know that you have a responsibility. You're a young man. And I just want you to take a deep breath, like I said. And you know what? Let them spin their conspiracy theories. You're a good kid. You had instructions to call Erika. Charlie had a team that jumped right in there. I know that team. And we just got to move on. We got to push to moving on, and let's get to these midterms.
Yeah. Bernadette, who are you? And Mikey, let's slow this down for a second. You had instructions to call Erika Kirk right away. And based on the footage that we've all seen over and over and over again, that's exactly what you did. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Now here's the part I really want people to pay attention to.
That's right. Thank you, Bernadette. It's crazy. It's just, I
Lost for words there, huh, Mikey? That little stutter, that pause, that moment where the sentence never really finishes. That's the kind of thing that makes people stop and replay the clip. Not because it proves anything, but because it raises more questions. So now we're left with this. Erika Kirk is out of sight. Bernadette is telling Mikey to ignore conspiracy theories and just move on. Mikey confirms he had instructions to call Erika and then freezes up right after thanking.
Now here's the part that really caught people's attention. When someone is falsely accused of something serious, the usual response is loud and clear. They speak out, they show evidence, they challenge the claims head on, sometimes even through legal action. But Turning Point USA hasn't taken that route. There's been no lawsuit to shut down rumors, no public push for corrections, just a steady stream of positive posts and videos highlighting Mikey in the best possible light, paired with a very controlled silence on everything else. Meanwhile, Candace Owens has made it clear she personally believes there's more to the story. She's openly questioning the official narrative and calling Turning Point out based on her own analysis, bringing her concerns directly to the public. And that's what has pushed this conversation into an even bigger spotlight.
Turning Point USA executives to issue a very clean statement saying that I am lying if this is not true. About 48 hours before Charlie Kirk died, Charlie informed people at Turning Point, as well as Jewish donors and a rabbi, that he had no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause outright, okay? Charlie was done. He said it explicitly, that he refused to be bullied anymore by the Jewish donors. Can you guys answer? Did he express that? Did he also express that he wanted to bring me, Candace Owens, back because he was standing up for himself? And then did he, just 48 hours later, conveniently catch a bullet to the throat before our onstage reunion could happen? It's a yes or a no. Explicitly, I want to hear from Turning Point USA that I'm lying about that. I want you to say no, it was just, he was feeling a little bit of pressure. No, I want you to literally answer what I have just said. It either happened or it didn't. I'm either making it all up or it happened exactly as I'm saying. And while we're at it, may I ask, what is the name of the Jewish donor who sponsored the Hamptons weekend? Okay. And to Pastor Rob McCoy, were there any LLCs that you or your son were being paid through that sat outside of Turning Point? I'm asking that question genuinely. Yeah, I'm putting the fire here right at the feet of Turning Point because I am disgusted. I am genuinely disgusted. I am looking around and wondering whether Charlie's entire life was the Truman Show. None of you guys are behaving in the way that you should be behaving, okay? There is no way you are letting these lies fly unless, as I'm hearing, unless it is true that there was a big payday that was on the line. And if Charlie radically stated that he was done with Israel, if Charlie said he had no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause because of, and I quote, Jewish donors, the behavior of Jewish donors, if he said that, yes or no, well then, I don't know, maybe some people didn't want to take that risk that he was gonna become Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson at Turning Point USA with so much presence across college campuses. Maybe they didn't want to take the chance. You see, I'm just one person, so it's easy to just try to cancel my life and lie on me every second of every day. But Turning Point USA, I think, got a little bit bigger than Charlie, and I'm no longer gonna allow this lie in this narrative, so answer the questions, yes or no. And I'm going to, again, challenge you to lie. And if you do lie, I'm going to expose the lies. And I'm going to start dropping videos, actually. So that's where I'm at. Enough of the games. Enough with trying to allow Israel to wrangle a narrative